So today I want to speak about free speech. This is such a wide topic, but what I want to say is that a lot of people have been forgetting that words really do carry weight because we read so many things every single day. We read on social media, we're reading so many headlines about crazy things that's happening around the world. We're reading, maybe you're reading books, you're reading WhatsApp messages. And you have to remember there was a time in the world when people couldn't read, and a lot of people couldn't read or write. And the only way that we could communicate was through words and actions, or speaking and actions. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that all of these types of communications, just because it's through a screen, people are forgetting that these words really do carry weight. I want to give a soft example about what I'm talking about. One of my friends told me that we're gonna do something tomorrow on a Friday after Jum'ah. I was like, okay, great. That was on a Thursday. Then Friday comes, he says, okay, we're gonna have to postpone it, and then we're gonna have to postpone it. So one thing that I want to say is that it really grinds my gears when people make promises they can't keep. Yes, I understand there are always going to be extenuating circumstances, and that's fine. But the fact that people don't communicate, I think it really affects me. Um, because there's an expectation. I expect things from people if they're gonna make me promises. And yes, you shouldn't expect that, but it does affect me as a person when you tell me that this is gonna happen and then you don't bother to do it. So that's something that I'm trying to take from myself. I'm trying to be someone that works on my promises and never breaks them. With the permission of Allah, that would be someone that's someone who I'm trying to be. Um, the next thing I want to say is that these words are binding. If you make a promise, it should be binding, and you should never let it go. It's so easy to say any words that will harm someone very easily. And the issue with free speech is that people like to say, "Oh, I can say anything." But okay, but what about these words that are harming people? Is that free speech? Because in my opinion, I don't think that it is. If you're racist or if you're discriminatory, is that free speech? Or I can say what I want, okay, but it's at the expense of another person, and that's not what free speech should be. I understand the freedom to practice religion, especially when we're in a Western country, but at the same time, that is kind of being taken away from us because of the scapegoats of immigrants. Even though the real problem is the government, it comes down to the government laying in the immigrants. But the leaders of the political parties like to point the blame on the immigrants so then they can get more influence themselves and line their pockets. This is a really big issue that's been happening in the UK, trying to focus all the issues onto immigrants and religion. Um, and funnily enough, the one religion that they always target is Muslims. And a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, he said that Islam started as a strange religion and it will go back one day to a strange religion. And those are the signs of the end times, and that's the times that we're living in. It really feels like everyone's against the Muslims, but it's okay because we have Allah, we have God, and that's something that you can always rely on. Because you cannot rely on people, as I've explained, they'll break their promises. But thank God that we have Allah, which is God in Islam.